Hi friends, welcome to Tutors Funny channel. Today I am going to teach mean stack full stack development using Node.js, Angular and Mongodb. Right? Backend I am using as a Node.js, frontend I am using as a Angular, database we are using is a Mongodb. Right? Now here the table is loading successfully. Now here you can see I am going to add a new record. Uh, right? So I'm going to add the new record. Name, address and phone number. Click submit button. Student registered successfully. The newly created record will be here, see on the table. If you want to edit the record, click edit button. Here editable record will be passing to the form successfully, right? So here uh, edit and save record we are managed by one button, right? So if you want to edit the record now here, Peter, here the address I'm going to make it, change it as India. Click submit button. At this time, record update, student update, right? Now you can see the update student record will be India is shown here, right? So if you want to delete the record, click delete button. Record has been deleted, right? Okay. So this simple full stack development, how to do step by step, will teach. Now the Mongoose database connected successfully. The cloud database we have connected successfully. You can see here. Now what I'm going to do is here I'm going to go to do the thing is first I'm going to go to the click on this new folder. This folder I'm going to create the databases and tables. So here we have created in Node.js we called as schema, right? So how to create the schema? So you have to write, you have to create the folder which is the src. Inside the src folder we have to create the folder which is student folder. The student folder we have to create the schema. It's very simple. First you have to add the Mongoose library. We have this Mongoose library. By the Mongoose library. Right? Sorry, here student. You have to create this. Sorry, this one you have to. I'm going to create a folder here. Folder I'm going to create here as student folder. Student folder. Here write. Say file you have to create as student model. This is a model.js. Here I'm going to create first you have to import the Mongoose library. So here in order to create the database you have to enter Mongoose, right? So Mongoose library we have to implement it first. After that we have to write schema. So we have to create the schema here, right? So first we have schema. So write the schema var schema equal Mongoose schema. You have to create the schema, database schema in Mongoose, right? So after that, we have to create the object of schema. So you write var, this is student schema. You write student schema. I'm going to create the object student schema equal. We have to create the object. So you have to implement this schema. That's the thing you have, right? Open and close curly bracket. Here open and open bracket and close bracket. Inside here, what I'm going to do is we have to implement the name, open bracket and close bracket. Here we have to create the types. Okay, here we have to create the columns. These are the collection, not we are called as collection. We are called as columns, right? So here first name. This is the column name. What is the data type? Type. You have to mention the type. Type equals string. Type equals string, right? So required mean this field is required, right? So required true. Right. After that, this bucket close. After that, another field, the same field I'm going to copy and paste it below address. Right. This one also string and require true. After that, I'm going to copy the same field. This one should be the phone. This one should be the number. Phone means a number data type. That's it. And that's the thing you have to do it. Right. After that, we have to this model we have to we have to export it the outside the class. So you have to write model dot exports equal mongoose dot model. It's a mongoose model. So you have to write, you have to create the database which is a student database table. You have to create a student table. So write here schema. For schema, you have to write this is the schema. You have to create it. This is how you have to mention it, right? Okay, this is table, right? These are the inside this table. You have to create these following columns. Inside this table, we have to create these following columns, right? These are columns you have to create. Okay, these are the tables which name is student. The student schema here write like this. This all the create as objects. This all the objects will be passed into this table, right? This is the thing we have to do. This is how we have to create the tables, right? Now file save all. Now what I'm going to do is after that we have created the model successfully. Now I'm going to go to create the we have to create the routes. So here you have to simply create the routes here. Click on the new file. You have to create outside it. Okay, create right click new. You have to create the folder. Sorry, you have to create the folder. Routes folder. Okay, this is a simple exercise I have did very simply how to make the CRUD application using MongoDB with Mongoose library. Okay, MongoDB database. So here I have created the folder successfully. Here you have write routes.js. Here write the routes.js. Here we have to create the following things. Right, so how to implement the CRUD operations. Here I am going to create this one. Right. So first what I am going to do is first you have to import the express server. I already explained the express server, which is a backend server. Copy this. You have to implement it over here. Right. After that, what I'm going to do is we have the routes. Routes is the URL. We have to manage all the URL managed by routes. So you have to create a variable const. You have to write router equal express dot router. Now here you have to create the object var student model equal require. So you have to src. My file is src student. You have to write student model. Right. Now here write here the student model. We have to tell them where my student model is resided. We have to tell them where my student model is resided. It resided on the if you have to type dot dot, it is a /. It's go out of the folder, and after that if you go this routes out of the folder, if you put double dot slash, after that you visit to the src folder. Inside the src folder they have the folder which is name is student. Inside student folder we have a file which is a student model. We have to go inside this file. So you have to go over here. We went already inside the file. Now first you have to write the router, but in the router method dot post. You have to write here if the URL is coming from slash student create, what happens is go comma assign function. You have to write assign function. You have to write request and response. Request and response. Right? What's the meaning of request and response? When the request is coming, you get the request and send it to the backend. When the response is coming, backend to front end. This one should be request is get front end to backend. Response is backend to front end. That's the things it happened over here. Right? That's line mentioned. Right. Now here what I'm going to do is post request, when the request is coming slash student create method create, what I'm going to do is here you create the variable constant data type. You have to create the student equal new student model. So you write request dot body, right? So here, what is this meaning of when we are using a postman? We have to create the body, the things. What is the thing? What is the thing? We will be checking my when you test with the postman. I'll be explain this one how easy it is, right? You can see here, right? Very easy. If you are making the CRUD application programming using Nodejs, try here. You have try catch block. Mention error. First, you write the if you put the assign function, you write the avoid student dot save response dot status sent you have write status true. Message you have to create as here as a message student created, right? That's the thing you have write student created, right? Student created, you have write the message student created, right? What I did here is it will be get the data from the model. Okay, so when the request is coming like this, okay, in the front end slash student create, what happen is we get the request here and send into the student model is here and pass into this here. So here avoid student.save mean it goes to here model function. What is the data, your name, address you are typing there in the Postman or any front end framework, it will be getting the data and it into the database. But that's the thing here done, right? That's the thing it will be done over here, right? If there any problem with them, you have to write, you have to write the status, you have to write this number. If there any error occur, you have to write this number. Okay, you have to go at Google and search what is the meaning of these numbers. 400, send the error. This is important stuff to you learn Node.js, right? Very simple. Now here what I'm going to do is routes, right? Now let's go to my index.js page. Here we have to link these routes. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is here I'm going to start it here as you have to given here as var routes. You have to create the variable routes equal required you have to give the path of it. What's the path? This is your current directory dot slash routes folder. This is a routes folder. Inside the routes folder we have a inside the routes folder here inside the routes folder we have a file which is a routes. That's it. That's the thing you have to write. Okay, that's how we have to link the routes. Right. After that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to implement the body parser in order to test with the front end and back end. Right. So you have to write constant variable body parser equal required. Here's a required. So here we have to we haven't installed them. So you're right. We have to install them. Okay, body parser, right? Now I'm going to implement this library. Okay, so you have to copy this one. I just Control C to stop the project. I'm going to install npm install body parser. Press enter key on your keyboard. You have to wait until the body parser library get installed. Right, it installed successfully. Right, perfect. That's the thing you have to write. Right. Now what I'm going to do is after that what I'm going to do is you have to install all things are there. After that we have to run the app. So you write here, this one should be your app.expert. This is your server. You have to write here app.use. You have to write body parser .json. That's the thing you have to write. You have to write app.use routes. That's it. Now let's file, save all. Now let's check back it how the things work. npm index node index.js. Route require. Okay, the spelling mistake with the require. So you have to copy this one require. You have to paste this one. There's spelling mistake. After that, we have to another error. Go to the router. So here also we have to module dot exports. We haven't export the router. So model router. That's also we did that. Now let's file save all. Again we have to run the application. Now you can check here what's the problem. Alright, the problem is I haven't connected internet. Right. Now again I'm going to run it. Because my database is connected in cloud. Okay, if I not connected the internet, we have get the error. Okay, if you get the error, you have to check with your internet connection. Because I hosted my database in the cloud. Right now it's running successfully. Now open the Postman. Now let's check with the application whether it's working fine or not. Post. So you have to write what's the port you have to connect it. Port. So here instead of the Postman, you have to we have a in the VS Code editor we have the extension. But go to the extension, you have to type here Thunder client. Thunder client. So if you are type the Thunder client, okay, Thunder client. Here this is the extension Thunder client. Teach. Right. You have to search and install Thunder client. Okay, you have to go to the extension mark, place here Thunder client. Okay, you have to install. I already installed it. You have to install it. You have to get this extension, right? So here you will be able to without go to the Postman. You have to check with here. So what the URL http colon localhost. What's the port 500 payout slash. If the request is coming here, this is the port where our server is running. If the request is coming slash student create. But the method is a post method. Create a body. So write the body JSON format. Out right here. Press the name John. The JSON format you have to write. Second one should be the address. India. Phone number. Phone. So enter as something like that. Okay, the same for here. What's the model? You have type the same name. You have type this. Then only it should work, right? So this is JSON format. If you now let's check whether it's working fine or not. Click on this. Here. Record successfully created. Record successfully created. Now if you want to check with the database, here Mongodb So Mongo database. Now let's check with the database whether it's working fine or not. So we go to the cluster. Right. Here browse the collections. Here student successfully, here this is the database record is successfully, here it will be successfully, it will be displayed. It's working perfectly well. How to add the records, right? Now let's continue the rest of the part, which is how to view the records and delete and update the records, right? That's all the stuff we will be doing step by step. It's very easy stuff for do the things, right? Now what I'm going to do is go back to my uh, routers.js. Here we done the add records, the simple CRUD system. After that, how to view the records. Here we have to view the records, view records, but I comment it. It is this comment is useful to read the codes. Okay, so after that, right, this also router dot get, right. Here write the request is coming from student. Here write assigned task. This one. No need to write here. You have to just copy and paste it. It's simple. Without code. Get it? When the request is coming slash students, you have to try catch error. Right. Now here you have to write variable students equal, that put the avoid function student model dot find, so write right. Here this is how we have find the records, right? If you want to find all the records, you have to write like this is a blank. You have display blank record. This is how we have to make the MongoDB application. Okay, so if you are not familiar in the MongoDB how the core is working, I have attached the video below. You just go and watch it, right? You will get the good. You can learn the MongoDB steps, right? Now here after that you have to write the response. For response you have to write status, you have to write 200 dot send, you have to write the students. That's it, right? So after that, what I'm going to inside the try block, you have to write response status, you have to write if there's an error, you have to call this dot error. That's it. Send. That's it. That's the thing you have to write. Perfect. Right? Now let's check whether it's working fine or not. If the request is coming, slash students, what happens is go to the model and find method. It will be get the record and put into this variable, assigned this variable students. After it the response. This is a response. It will be it will be display the student records. Right. Now let's go to my request. Post, you have to get as get. This is a get method. Click send. What happened? Get cannot. What happened? Let's back to our routes page. Right, what when the request student get student, the request right, sorry, let's students slash students. Okay, so everything is okay. What's the problem? There is coming here 4 error. So the request is here, the 4 error is display. What happened? Right, so here we have tried this one. Send only, we have tried to send different details. Something's a problem with this thread. Right now, let's, if you control C to control C stop the application. I have made the changes. That's why that's the problem. Okay, so I again run it. Okay, I haven't run it. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, if you haven't, once you change any changes, you must save and run again. Right, so again you have to go and send it here. Response is come. Well, it's work, but the problem is you have to stop the server and run it. Right, now let's do the find part. So let's go to the route.js. I'm going to find the record. So write find records. How to do the thing is here, the same thing, get method, you have to copy and paste it. Here when the request is coming slash, you have to set the ID like this, the param. You have to set the param like this, the param, right? So you have to write like this here. You have to create what's the ID you are coming here, the param. You have to get it here. That constant variable ID, you have to write the ID equal request dot params. You have to set the params dot ID. This ID, get the ID, right? You have to get the particular ID, right? You have to get the particular ID and you have to pass it here, right? So now here we don't need this find. Instead of find, to get a find by ID. Here this all things are, these methods all are coming from the Nodejs, right? So this is all the find method. That's the beauty of this one, right? So here we have tested whether it's working. You have to put the validation. If student ID, if not students, the students ID is not, if it is not, if it is null, if it is not null, you have to request, you have to write returns dot status, sorry, returns response dot status dot 44 dot send. Send means the data will be sent if it is not null. The data is not null. If the data is there. Otherwise, you have to write status is, if it is null, right? Student status is, you have to write 200. If the student record is available, if the student record is not available, go here, available, it's go and send the records. This one. That's the thing you have to write. That's it. That's the thing you have to write. Okay, that's it. Okay, now let's check file save all. Now when the record, when the student, if you want to go to here, this is the record. So now I'm going to here copy this students. When the URL is coming like this, click get sorry what happened, connection refuse. Okay, I haven't run the server yet, that's why. Accidentally my server gets stuck, that's why it's error might be out. Right, now let's check this. Here it's working, here it's working. When request is coming like this, it's working fine. right? It's working fine. Here if you are wrong id, it will be unsupport. Here if it's the wrong id, it's not. Here it's correct id, it is working. It's working. It's the correct id, right? It's working fine, right? If you are right the correct id, it's working. That's id. Earlier you are getting this id. This child is fine. Call function. What's the problem? Let's go to the new request. Unsupport SHTP. Right here, this I have put it accidentally. That's why it's working. Here, now it's working fine. Right. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is my find is working successfully. Now let's go back to my another thing is uh, update. Right here, update records. So let's back it here to go to the router.js. Now I'm going to go to the update records. Now the same get this one, you have to copy it, paste it below. Here only the changes. This one should be the patch. When you update the record, this should be the patch. This is a patch. You have to comment is patch. So update records. Right, patch. Students record is coming here. Get the ID and you write variable const variable type body equal request dot body. Now here, right here you have to type student model dot find id and update slash body comma new here true. Right, you have to write a new true. Right, not here. This one you have no need them. Right, perfect. Right now here, if this one should update students, so you're trying to here this variable you create is update students. Okay, so here you can see here when you update the record, it will get the ID along with the records, the body means the what is the changes you have made along with the ID, the particular ID. It's coming both. Here put it here new true. After that here check it this update students. If there any, you check with this one. If there is a problem, it will be written. If there is no problem, it will be execute this. Update student will be updated. That's it. That's the thing you have tried. So I'll save all and get it back to my get a patch tool. Open the body. This is the body. The ID is an ID, so we don't need the ID. This one I have to make the changes here. So ID coming USA phone number and type 12121212. This one no need them. This all things will no need them. Don't need them. Now let's check. Click send button. Cannot patch the student. Why? What's the problem? Cannot patch the student. Students. Let's back. If there any error coming, here go here. Students ID. The patch. Try this one. Body the construct variable. Avoid student model. Let's get the model. ID body. True. If the students return the students they are update students. Right, the problem is here. I already show you here I haven't closed and run the server. That's the problem. Close it. You have to close the things, right? Here server is running again. You have to run the server. That's the problem. The this one, but what is that? The change is not done. That's why it getting error. Right now you go here and you can check it here. Now again you have to things here. Now it's working. Here you say this working fine. Okay, you have to stop the server. Control C to stop the server and run it. Control C to stop the server and run it. Right. After that, we will do it as a delete record. So, how to delete the record? This is also the same thing. You are doing the delete also the same thing. Copy it, paste it below. Instead of patch, write at delete. So the thing is, all the things are correct. We no need the body. Side is the body is not. We no need them. The body things. Get rid of these lines. All things we keep ID only. ID only. We no need this then true. That's the thing. So we no need them. This all thing ID only. This one should find instead of the find update. You have to write find ID by delete. That's it. That's the thing you have to write here. Delete students. Copy it, paste it over here. Right here also delete student. That's it. Right, delete records. Right. When the request is coming slash what side you're typing, it's getting the ID here. It passes it to this variable. This variable here coming here. It's go to the model and delete the particular ID and passing here. This particular record has to be deleted. That's the thing it will be about. Right. So if you want to get the message as well, the record is deleted. So we have to get the message here. The same thing message. Return sent. Instead of there, you have to write here. Student deleted. The student updated. The same thing you have to just copy it. Student updated. So easily know what happened. Now let's save all. Run it back with the application. Okay, this my application already running. Control C to stop the application. Again you rerun it. Right now I'll be check it. Right now let's go to the patch tool. I'm going to USA John Peter. You have to update the record. Send it. What is the things? But it's not updated. But the problem is here. You have right here only send only. Right. Sorry, not here. This is error, not here. It paste it here. Right, paste it here. Okay, student updated. Okay, it's updated over here. But it's updated over here. This one should be pasted over here. Copied and not inside here. Right? It paste it over here. Student deleted. Right? Space it here, not there. This is the error message. That's it. File save. Now again stop the application, run it again. Pictures. Now let's check it here. Student updated successfully. Right. I can delete the record. delete request, the ID is coming, this one no need them, this all things, we just click send, ID removed. Right now let's go and check the database what happened. So to refresh them, just refresh the data here, refresh. There's no data, I have to remove it. Okay, here. Now it's working perfectly well. Now let's if you have to add the data again, go to the post request, students, create body. I have this body data. Right, sorry, body data, why it's not working? So students create. Oh, what's the routes? Right, student create, not students create, student create. That's why it's not working. But you have to, once you run the API, you just write it. Here, student is created successful. Now let's check it. The database again, refresh them. The collection is working. Right. Now again, you have to run, write it another, when you add the another data, James, India, phone number, something like that. Send it, create it, back it database, you refresh them. So again, fine. I hope you guys understood this CRUD applications well. If you have any doubt, you can let me know. Thank you for watching. Now our backend application is created successfully using Node.js. Now the front end, I'm going to use it as a Angular. So I'm going to create a new folder. So Angular, student management, Angular front end. Right. Here I'm going to configure the Angular CLI. So you have type the command cmd. Go here. I'm going to go to my Google and go to the Angular respective website, Angular CLI. Click on this. First you have to configure the Angular CLI. Copy this one. Back to your terminal. Paste it here. You have to wait until the process completed. Now here the Angular project installed successfully. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to here stop it. Here go to the project. Here folder. Here I'm going to run the project. So by typing the command cmd ng serve. Right. Okay. Yes. Why? Now it will be start of your Angular server. It will generate the port and everything. It will be running. Now it will be generate your port and everything. You just copy this one, paste on the Google browser, Chrome browser. Here it's working the welcome page successfully. Now you have congratulations, you have installed the Angular well in your machine. Right now what I'm going to do is here I'm going to go to my my Node.js. I have already started. You have to start the Node.js. This is a backend. If we are not started, the record is not coming. Okay, you must start the server, right? So Mongodb and server is started successfully. Now let's do the application. So let's open this into our VS Code editor. Code space dot. It will be open up your VS Code project. This is Angular for project structure. So here go to the src. You can see the index.html. This is a single page application. How the process is running, this is approved. Okay, here if you are calling that approved, it's called the here. This is the approved TS file. So it will be calling here approved. Here this one should be I'm calling to the single page application running from here. So approved consists of two things, HTML as well as a CSS. This is the HTML file which will be produced the output as a welcome page. This is the welcome page output. HTML page along with the SCSS. This is the advanced things of HTML, right? This is here. all things. Now let's get rid of these lines. These all things I'm going to get rid of this. We don't need them. Right, I'm going to keep route output. Now you can see the output. H1, if you type hello, file save. Now the output is changed as hello here. Right, now what I'm going to do after that, I'm going to do the another thing is that I'm going to do the bootstrap part. So here we are clearly I'll be mentioned in this blog post. After that, we have to you can install the bootstrap. Otherwise, it's simple. Without install the bootstrap, you can go to the respective bootstrap website. Bootstrap, okay, official website. Go here. We can get the bootstrap style. I need only bootstrap CSS. Click on this clipboard. Back to my single page application, React single page application index.html. Inside the HTML tag, you have to paste it. Then this is the main page. It will be apply the bootstrap, right? File save or you configure the bootstrap style successfully. After that, what you're going to do is go to the app module. We have to do the couple of changes, right? The app module, we have to add these two dependencies. So here, app module and HTTP. Why with the, if you are working with the form, this is a form, okay, form record. If you implement the form in the Angular, you have to add this module, form module as well as the HTTP client module, right? So let me add those modules in the app.module.ts file. So back to my app.tss file. That's the app.module.ts file, right? This is the main file. So here we have a imports. We have two imports we have added already: browser module and app route module. So here I'm going to import another one. You have to add it here, form module, comma HTTP module, right? So here more form module. Click on this form module. We have to implement the namespace. That's why it will be right. So click on this. Here there is a bulb symbol. Yes, my bulb symbol. Right. If the module is not show here, no problem. I have to add the my form module is resided. You can have the namespace here. You just copy this one. If it is bulb symbol is not display, if you add it, right? So you add it, it will be gone. Right, forms module. So forms module. So okay. So forms module. Sorry, not form modules, forms module. That's why it's show the errors, right? It's a forms module. Correct the error go here. If you are not added, no problem. Here we click on this. Here click import the form modules. Earlier I had leave the mistake as I didn't type. That's why. Comma, I have attached another module, is the HTTP client module. Click on this, copy this, paste it over here. HTTP client module. Click it, ask import the namespace here. If it is not coming, don't worry about that. Here I have a path here, HTTP client module. You just copy and paste it over here. Because sometimes the path is not coming here. Now the thing is okay. Okay, when you work with the RESTful API, this is must. HTTP client module. When we work with the forms, this part is need, right? Now I'm going to create another module. How to do this? I'm going to go to here, this one, our project. I'm going to open the CMD ng generate means this is the ng generate component. I'm going to create a new component as a student component. Press enter key. You have to wait till the component is created, right? A component created consists of 4 files, right? HTML, SCSS, and TS file, which will be help you to write the logic here. The 4 file has been created successfully. Now you can back to your project. You will be check with this one here. The new component has been created, student component. Student component. Here I am going to make the form design. Very simple HTML form design. Okay, if you want to do the HTML form design, you just go to the Google and type Bootstrap form design. You will be able to get the design of Bootstrap, right? Bootstrap form design. form design. Here this design, right? You just copy this design, here this design, and change you want. The same thing I have did it here. Here, this same design, I will be explaining the same design, HTML form design I have be done it. Okay, here, right? I'll be explaining without wasting your time. So here, this one should be a form design, right? So here you can see here, this is a bootstrap implementation, right? It's a card. I have made the card tag in order to do the things. Card is open, cloud is closed it here. We have a simple form design. I have attached it. Heading, student registration, simple heading. Okay, so here name, and you have tried here instead of name and student name, student address, student phone, right? Now here what I did here is, you can see the right student application. What I did here is, you can see here, this form consists of three fields. One is a student name, student address, and student phone, right? So you can say input, the same input field. Here the same input field, I have get rid of this line. So you can see here, same input field. What I did here is, this is Angular. Angular, we have a property called ng model. What is the purpose we are declaring the ng model is, what is the value you are typing on the particular text box of, say, student name text box, the value has been assigned to ng model. This is the property. The same name, it is a name. Okay, we have given this label the text box which is a name, right? It will be assigned, right? Okay, this one created, this is the variable we have created into our TS file. Okay, so that's why we have to do it here. We have to write this property as well, ng option standard 2. Then only the value is stored. That's the value you type on this particular text field. This one store as a variable. Ng, this is a name. What's the address? It will be stored here. What's the address you are typing is stored here in ng model. What's the phone number you are storing here? That's the thing happen. Right. When you click the submit button, it goes to which field? Here in Angular, you can see here, rather than doing the same page, there is a page that is separated in Angular. That is a neat. When you're doing the project here, neatly we have to do the project here. There's a separate file which is student component.ts file. Here we are doing all the logic part, programming logic part we are done by the here. Now here I'm going to do the ts file. I'm going to import this. I'll be explained, don't worry. Simple code. I have implemented simple codes. Right. Now okay, what I did here is, first we have to go right. First go here. First we have to create the, you can see here we have created the three variables: name, address, and phone. You can see here, this one should be the name string, phone number, address string, phone number you have to make it as a number. So number is not string, number. Right. Phone number is a number. The HTTP request, here will be implement the import common HTTP. Here already this inside the module we have already called this one client model. So the same thing we have to implement it to the TS file. This is now let's back to our application. In Angular version 16, the newest version, we have facing this problem. The ng model is here. If you are move the cursor, they are telling the ng model option this property is not isn't know the property of input like this, right? So how to solve this type of problem? Go to the app module.ts. Here if you have to import another imports, that is you have to get this import as well, reactive form module, right? So this module I'm going to add it. So I'm just okay, so don't worry, this code I provide you have to add it over here, right? Then you have to add this imports. So we have this library, it automatically import. So we have a click on this. If the path is not coming, here this path is coming, so add it, right? So the error go away, right? That's the thing you have to do it. Now let's file, save all, right? Now let's back to here. Now here also we have to do the thing is then the option, right? Now here in order to solve it again, we have to go to here, but import the component as well. So student component, you have to add it, right? That's a problem. I student component, right? That is you have to add it here. Student component, you have to write here, right? That's the thing you have to write here. The error go away, right? The component is missing. That's why get ES5. Your student components reside on where in the declaration we have to add the student component. Accidentally I have removed it. That's the problem, right? Now it's work, right? Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is here in the lowest version we don't need this one. So if it is a new version, if you must include these two things: forms module and reactive form module, right? So you have the path also. If it is not automatically import, you have to add it over here, right? That's a must. That's the thing you have to do it, right? Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is after that here the error go away. Now we'll see the RESTful API part, right? RESTful API part. So let's open up the Postman. Okay, you can see here there's a Postman, right? So here we have to first we have to, this is the port where it will be running the 500 port 500. Now let's send it. Dismiss. Let's send it. What happened? Let's check the port. What port we are using for the port 500 5000. We have RESTful API. What's the test students? So students. Not students. That's why it get there, right? You can check over here. Otherwise, you can check using the VS Code editor, right? So it's working. The RESTful API is working. Now, what I'm going to same API, I'm going to get call into our table. Now here we already tested the API. It's working fine. Now here what I'm going to do is the data is coming successfully from the API. So copy this API and paste into this get request, right? You have paste it. Now I have created the function which is a get all student, open and close curly bracket, right? So here it's called close curly bracket. After that this is a HTTP request. It's a get action method. Inside here you have to paste our API request. So it goes to the respective URL and load the student details, and it will be subscribed until we have to get the data, right? After that all the data is coming, you have to assign the variable the object which is a result data, right? You can here the whether the data is coming or not, we have tested through the console application. After we are receiving the data, right? So data result data dot data. What's the meaning of result data dot mean, right? So here you can see here if there is any object you have to add it as a data, we have to add data. Here there is nothing about the data, anything else. So we have to get rid of this data. You just keep result data on, right? Okay, so we have to pass into the student array. So here the student array here we have to declare student array any, we can get any data. Here's a blank. So you write the blank array. Now when the array starts, it's blank. Now here after you load the data, you have to assign this array. Now this array get all the collection of this all the this key pair. This is the key, this is the value. This is the key and value. Okay, this is a key pair, right? So this all the values are coming and store the variable where student array. Now I want to get that data. So how to get that data? I want to pass into the table. So here we have to get the data into our T body. The table here, the simple table I have design it in our HTML form. Simple HTML form, right? right? Simple HTML form, we have a table, right? This get the date, the get the data, right? Here it's coming, he's coming here, student array. Here you have to declare the variable which is a student item. So we get one by one. Student item as name, student item address and phone number. This data we are getting and passing to the required table. Right, this is the data. And that's how we have passing here. Right. So here we have to put the for loop. Right, we have to put the for loop. How to implement the for loop of Angular? You have to using the ng4. There's a word ng4. Right, so you have to use the ng4 asterisk ng4. It will be loop it, right? It loop and load the all things, right? Now after that, what I'm going to do is you have to go to the second thing, right? Second API is a create API, create request. How to handle a create request? You can see here the create the here, right? Now you can see so get request. After that we have a create request. Right here, right. I put it right. This is print, right? So here we have create the method which is a register, start and close method. And inside the bracket we have a let's body data. What is this meaning of? When you test through the postman, you can see here you can write like this. Okay, so here if you go through our API, a new request, we already tested through the Thunder client, right? I close them, right? So no problem, right? So you can see here if you go through the if the request is coming from at the data. So at the data you can see here what is the request, what's the API here, slash student create. If the request is coming, you have to add the data. So how to test it through here, student create, okay, student create. So it is a post request. Here in the row we have to add the relevant tables. So name, okay, so key pair. Okay, this is the JSON, you have to add the JSON format, ABC. After that address, anything else I just write it. After that phone, right? These are the API, right? Now if you click send button, here student created successfully. Now the same thing, these are the body. So this is the database we have set it. This is API, we have to create the API. This is a data, right? The same thing we did in the Angular. You can see here this is our backend, the front end Angular. What I did here is this is coming from the form data. Form data mean our form data, which is a form data. Here this is simple form. We have a form, the student component.html, right? So it is a form. The form has a fields. Here name, what's the name you are typing, it is stored the ng model. What's the address typing, it is stored the ng model. Address, phone number, it will be stored the phone number, right? This data it will be passing here, the component file. So we have the file, this one, ts, right? This we are passing here. Go to the respective API. What's the API? Port number 5000. Here student create. Right. Okay, first you have to do it. After that, finally you can test it, right? So this is the method, right? After that, we have whatever did, we have to file save all. After that, we have to do the edit method as well, right? So edit, I already these all things I have show the demo, right? So how this work, right? Edit request, what I did here is when you're going to edit the records, we have to do it here. Here this is a table columns. There is a edit button. If you have clicked the edit button, the editable record will be passed into the form. After you make changes, you have to click save button again. That time the record is updated. Right? If the IDs exist, record is updated. If the ID is blank, record is saved. Okay, that's the logic I have written. Okay, you have to write the logic properly, then only it will be work whether the record is updated or saved. Okay, so here this is the update part. So the same thing like edit. So here we have to data along with the ID. It's passing here, right? So the request, we have the API, we have to write it here when you edit the record. What is the view the record? This is student. The patch request. So ID here you have to write like this. ID you have to write like this. The ID. Right. This is how way we have to write the ID. Right. That's it. So the same thing. Right. Here we have the student. $5,004 student slash what's the ID coming here, the data will be there, it will be updated, right? The delete order the same, it will be, this is a patch request, this is the delete request, right? So here, right, so here also we have a delete. So here this one also we have a 5,000 student, right? That's it. That's the thing you have to write here. Slash students, not students, students. Delete also what are the API, right? Students, right? Okay, what is the URL? This is the ID. What is the ID you are typing on the URL? It is coming. Okay, here. This is the ID, right? So here students. Here also students. Don't worry about this. Source code they will provide you. Here we have write the simple logic. If the ID is blank, record is registered. If the ID is exist, record is updated. Right? Like this. If the ID is exist, it's coming to the here update along with the ID. Here, when you click edit button, it passing the ID data. If the ID row is not passing, it will be register the record. If the ID is passing, it will be save the record. That's the thing we have to write. Right. Now let's file save all. Right. So we have go to our main app component.html. We are already passing app student. Okay. So where we get this one here, go to the student component ts file, our logic file, the root. You can see here what is selector here. We have write it here app student. The same selector name you have given here. Then only when the page is loaded, it coming here, right? When the Angular program is reloading, this component is loaded first. You have to tell them which components loaded first to the page. Right, now let's save all, back to our browser and check it whether it's working fine or not. Everything is fine. Right, now let's, what is the right support. Loaded to phone number, some error. All the errors solved me. Right, so here the port localhost Angular port. This is a port where I will be running server. Right, it's working here. Record is displayed successfully. Here it's working successfully. Now if we are going to, so I'm going to add the data as James address, phone number, click submit button. Student register successfully. Newly student record will be created successfully. If you want to edit the data, if you click edit here, editable data passing the form successfully. Here if you want to edit this data here, it's passing successfully. Here this data It's passing successfully. If you make some changes, click submit button. At this time not added, the data is updated. Now you can look at the games. Here it is updated successfully, working perfectly well. Right. Now if you want to delete the data, here if you click delete button, record is deleted. Click OK. Here it refreshes successfully. Right. I hope you guys you understood the system well. If you ended, you can ask me anytime. If you love my channel, please subscribe me, like me. Thank you for watching.